So I'm on the BJJ Fanatics website, and I see 3 new videos by some guy named Thomas Radzinski. You familiar with that guy at all?
Nope, absolutely not.
No? Well, he's got some good stuff. Three brand new videos. They're getting amazing reviews, which is good to see as well. But you got to tell us about them real quick?
Yeah, I had, you guys already know, but I had opportunity to go to Boston, shoot 3 more instructionals, 1 on butterfly hook, complete guide for butterfly hook, 2 wrap, lapel, and submit them, and 3 we have taking the back. It's particularly designed for guys for over 40 because there's no climbing involved. All the back takes are on the ground. Very, very full and effective system. So dip into it. I'm really hoping that this is going to help your jiu-jitsu and really take it to the next level.
BJJfanatics.com. Just search ROZDZ. We have all had that situation where after class is when we want to ask a question. And Thomas, a lot of those questions you've already answered, right, at Ask a Black Belt.
Yeah, it's another podcast that I'm running. It's on podcast, all podcast platforms, plus on YouTube. You can find it anywhere. Just search for my name. Search for Ask a Black Belt. At this point, over 100 episodes, different questions, jiu-jitsu, life-related, but something that everybody comes across, and often these questions sink in our mind, but we don't ask for whatever reason. So if that benefits you, go there, listen. It actually might help your jiu-jitsu, might help your life as well. And if you have any questions, find me on Instagram and drop me a line. I'll be happy to answer your question and mention your name during the episode.
Welcome to Raw Radio.
And we are live.
Here we go.
You're deep in your thoughts.
Sure.
That's your answer?
Yeah, or I was just zoning out.
Well, good. I brought
You
you
don't do
back
that?
in. Me? I never zone.
Please. Love you. Thomas. Huh? What?
What?
You were talking to me?
What? Yeah.
Yeah, you're the only Thomas here. You're the only other person in the room.
You are so mean, and you wonder why people don't like you.
I don't care.
That's part of the problem.
What are you going to do? And I'm not mean. I'm only mean to you. You bring it out in me.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
There's a unique dynamic that takes place.
Because you always have to comment on whatever's going on. You make this interpretation in your mind, and then you comment about it.
Because
and
I
sometimes
care.
It's completely off the wall. It's not
Because I care.
It's just 'cause you need to hear yourself talk.
Wow.
Yeah. See, that's
wow.
the real reason. That's the real reason. So,
I miss you too, Gary. I mean, last takeaway, you weren't here. Last episode, you weren't here. I missed you.
oh yeah, we got to do that, right? You were with Professor Edgar.
We got to do what?
and,
Yeah.
Well, did you guys record a takeaway
Hell
too?
yeah.
You did?
You were fully replaced.
Cool.
You're fully replaced.
All I got to do is edit it.
That's right.
Yeah.
good
Trying to get
good luck
Edgar to do
listening to that.
Yeah.
That was pulling teeth. We love Edgar.
We do?
I mean,
You think I'm mean to you? Wow. You should see how I talk to that guy. Not for air. Not for air.
well, he got a first sample. He got a sample of talking to somebody on a podcast for an hour, and I think was different than what he imagined. No, he did a great job.
experience.
He did a great job. He contributed. It was a great episode. Yeah. But anyway, we had 199
Mm-hmm.
creeping up.
Yeah.
Next episode is going to be awesome.
It's a big deal.
Big deal for us, and big deal. Just you're gonna have to tune in, but it's a good one. We're preparing something really cool for that, and but talking to Pauline Bak, what a young, accomplished, driven young lady, huh?
Yeah, smart woman, talented, and you just seem like she's. I try and instill in my kids and my daughter, because she's a little bit older, so we're not. I mean, she's older than my son. She's still pretty young, but that if you strive and you're good at things, multiple things, when you stumble upon that one thing that you really want to do or that you're in love with, all that preparation, whether it's completely something unrelated to what your passion is or what you think you want to do or what you're going to give a try, you're already set up in a lot of ways for success, right? So she was a mechanical engineer. What does that have to do with jiu-jitsu? Not a ton. However, she's got an education. She used that. She went and got, her dad was a mechanical engineer who had his own business. She went and got a business certificate. So when she opens her academy, she knows things already. She's already has tools in place. So she moves out of her homeland with no job lined up. She's not going to be an engineer when she gets there. I love her phrase. She called it a whatever job. I'm just going to get a whatever job. But she had this skill set already that set her up for success. And I think that's important for kids to understand that, and I think a lot of times it gets called a plan B when it doesn't need to be. It's just you're setting yourself up.
It's not plan B.
Gaining experiences, building a knowledge base, and all that stuff. Like I said, even if you go into something that is completely unrelated,
well, I think what
helps you out.
I think we're oftentimes, first of all, you just literally told everybody the whole episode, but that's okay.
No, I didn't. And these come out after the episode, so if you're listening in chronological order, it's fine. You already heard it.
But I think a lot of people look at these lessons in life as applicable to the exact point of time. So, like, even in her case, a mechanical engineer, yes, it teaches how to do the job, but also teaches you life skills, and those life skills can be applicable all across the life,
right?
Even later on, I'm pretty open about this. Like, I was lucky enough to have some experiences, and I can apply them today, even though I don't do what I learned originally. And I think this is a similar approach. And what I'm trying to say, the people who are agile enough with their mental approach, with the mindset to take lessons from life and apply them in a different environment, their success is significantly higher.
Yeah. Well, you're well-rounded. Right?
Yes.
And we're 6 minutes in. We haven't even brought up what we were supposed to be talking. I don't know if maybe we switch gears and talk about being well-rounded. I don't know. I mean, we can easily relate that to jiu-jitsu too. But I find that the people that I know or have had experiences with who are not well-rounded, who don't have a lot of life experience, are either closed-minded at some point, boring, shut off from the world. They're not open to new experiences, and that's a shame.
Well, it's like the fixed mindset and growth mindset, right? Like, you box yourself into these environments and these thoughts, and I will never use this in my life, versus being really open-minded and say, what did I learn here, and how can I use that skill in completely different area? Because, like, we can dissect what mechanical engineer means and what job do you do, but I am pretty sure that we can take a mechanical engineer and life lessons they learned from the job can be applied in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that you're approaching it, I think, from a different angle than I am. I think it opens. It's not fixed in growth. It is in a way, but I always look at like a growth mindset as challenges come your way, you try and figure them out. You don't let them bring you down. You know, how do I adapt? Right. Where I'm coming from with this today about being well-rounded is you just become a fuller person. You can travel in different circles and find comfortability. You can travel in different circles and not think that because somebody does something different or has a different point of view that they're less than, or what you do is more important. It just makes for a better experience all around for you and for the people that you come in contact with. They want it's important to share things. And it's important to bounce things off of people and get feedback, positive feedback, or constructive criticism.
That is true.
And if you don't have a skill set, or you're not a well-rounded person, you can't do that, I don't think, for other people, because you only know what you know. You can only tell them,
not only for other people, but even for yourself too, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're very stuck in your own ways and you're unwilling to, like, I mean, I've come across in my life across people who are unwilling to hear feedback, period.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you, forget about the people who want to give you feedback, forget about that point, but the fact that you're so close-minded that you don't have ability to hear where you might improve.
Yeah.
Doesn't that set you back? Doesn't that put you in a point of disadvantage?
I think it does. And I also I look at the opposite end of that, of the people who are going to tell you everything. They're going to tell you how it is. They're going to tell you how to do everything because their path is the one that worked.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, there's a million different ways to go about things. You know, if this is going back to Pauline, she's already a black belt. She gets a job instructing, but she's also working behind the desk. A lot of black belts would be like, nope, my skill set's on the mat. And it's like, no, so she's working behind the desk and she's instructing. And when it comes time for her to open her own academy, she's got
skill set in place,
all this stuff that she can work with. Right. And where somebody else might have said, no, you want to be the figurehead. You shouldn't be behind the desk. You're a black belt. That's beneath you. It's a little extreme, but
but all that falls into that fixed mindset. I mean, all of that falls into that inability to see the bigger picture. And and those who don't have that, those who are open-minded about all of this, really, one, continue growing in a very rapid rate, but also provide a resource to other people. Right? Mm-hmm. When we grow, we are more willing to help others. We are more willing to be the leader. We are more willing to live by example. We are more willing to just help others to become better. And now it turns into from being all about me to being all about somebody else. And this is where we become helpful hand and allowing people surrounding us to grow, to continue evolving.
Yeah, I think that's, for me anyway, that's like the most important thing. It's the key. It's, we were going to talk, you just brought it up, being an example. That's what we were going to talk about. And I think that being a well-rounded person is kind of the only way to be a positive example, right? You can be the opposite end of that, and you're an example of what not to do. And I think that when you're well-rounded, you become an example of what to do. Growth mindset, like you said, open to new things. It doesn't even have to be a challenge. It could be, I will listen to that other type of music, even though I'm a fan of this, to see what somebody else appreciates. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I can relate to them. Mm-hmm. I get it. I it's still not for me. I'll never go home and turn that on, but I can understand why you like it. Now I have an appreciation for it. And I think that starts building all these layers of development and understanding and turning you into a better person. And then by default, the people that you surround yourself with become better people as well.
So why do you think this is so hard for some of us?
We talk about what makes things hard for people, and I think that
your phone.
Yeah, it's time to go get the kids. Except I don't have to. Where were we? Why is it hard?
Why is it so people? Hard? Yeah.
I think there's a lot of reasons, and I think part of it is a defense mechanism. People, if I don't open myself up, I'm never going to make myself vulnerable. I'm never going to be hurt. I'm never going to be wrong.
But by definition of that, you are wrong.
Perception.
Well, yeah,
right.
This is
if I don't perceive myself to be wrong.
Perception versus perspective. I mean, that's the huge thing. A lot of people mistake them as the same thing. It really isn't.
Yeah. So if I can tell myself till I'm blue in the face that I'm not wrong, I'm not wrong, I'm not wrong, and I'll leave believing that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not giving that person the opportunity to influence me in any way. right? And why? I guess the question for me then is, why don't you want to be influenced?
Because you think you're right?
Yeah, but so right, it's just this circle. But where does it stem from? Does it stem from being hurt when you're younger, from being told that you're wrong all the time, from having to build up walls for whatever reason? I don't know. I always think that when people are like that, it's the negativity that they've grown up with, or been surrounded by even as an adult, that closes everything off. They start putting up walls. They start pushing back, and then you end up, not being well-rounded and being alone and being confrontational, and and again, I'm talking extremes. For whatever reason, the scenario I'm having in my head right now is, it's just like somebody you don't want to hang out with, somebody you can't sit down with, and have a normal conversation with, other than the subject that they believe that they are good at, that they know more about, that they're going to tell you about, and you're not going to get a word in edgewise.
That's a miserable life.
Yeah, and it's a miserable time when you're stuck with that person for whatever.
I mean, that too.
You're stuck with them.
That too.
I found myself with those people every once in a while, and it's like, how do I get out of here?
Yeah.
I used to talk about somebody in particular. Don't worry, it's nobody around the academy or anything, but you just start nodding your head. And you're slowly back.
You started dissolving.
Right. You just fade. You just disappear into the background. And I feel bad for those people, because I know that there's times in their lives where they realize that's happening.
Yeah.
They can't. I don't think anybody's that not self-aware enough to where they never noticed that. So it's too bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Try something new. Go do something new. Listen to something you don't listen to. Read a book about a subject you're not interested in. Have a conversation with somebody that looks completely different than you. And I bet you're going to find something. You're going to take something away from it.
I like it. You sound very smart today. I like this.
Especially when I was being mean to you. I sounded beginning 17 minutes ago. Boy, was I smart. Cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right.
Well,
are we done?
I appreciate you being here and sharing your wisdom. Yes,
Thanks.
we are.
Okay. I'll see you.
Thank you for listening to Raw Radio. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave us a review and help us make the show even more amazing. For future episodes, check out our website and follow us on all major podcast platforms. Take care.